It is everywhere water problem. Africa, India, many countries are facing desertification. And imagine 1.3 billion people, India facing water problem. I think Indians are going to be the largest refugee, migrants in the world. Very soon it will happen. India should be evacuated. There is no rains, only in western part of India there are rains. Rivers are all running dry now. Very soon oceans will be facing eutrophication. That means freshwater flow will stop because the delivery of oxygenated water is a must if an ocean has to live. So all the fish, corals, microorganisms in the ocean, they need the freshwater flow. Once the fresh water is cut off, especially Bay of Bengal is a closed ocean. Arabian Sea is another closed ocean. Both of them will die. So then they will release hydrogen sulfide gas. That will suffocate. People, animals will die, plants will die. So poisonous algae will take it over the whole coastline of subcontinent. And very soon it's going to happen. So that is what India is facing. So the freshwater problem is the biggest problem Pope is discussing in the encyclical, and is appealing to the world community to do something about a common plan to provide fresh water to all life on earth, not only humans. This document goes beyond human realm. Laudato Si tries to include every creature. Here there is no separation. Everything is integral. That is integral ecology. He talks all the time, every page, integral ecology, integral ecology. That means we are not alone, everything is included, the non-living and the living. And the human is only a small part in that. So our attitude and thinking is completely will be changed after attending this encyclical. Loss of biodiversity, that is the dangerous writing from the Pope that occupies 10 paragraphs, the longest treatment in the first chapter. So that tells you the importance of the subject. It is called the animal life extinction, the extinction of animals and plants because of human activity. That is the point. So now he is asking us to see, look at the forest, how many animals, biodiversity disappear because of human encroachment, the habitat destruction, the palm oil plantations, and cities, roads, parking lots, all of them destroy habitats, the habitats of animals, especially in India, monkeys. Where do they go? They were living, everybody was living before us because they came before us. Humans came and we took everything from them. And they are refugees. They are the real climate refugees. They don't have home. And they are all this kind of a fugitives running around. And there is no court for them. If there is a court, if we can defend laws of Mother Nature, really a court will tell us to move out, leave this habitat. This building has to be torn down. Our houses need to be torn down and make space for nature. And if you want to live, you do eco housing. Don't cut down trees, don't destroy habitat, but you take a space where you can live. In Malaysia, I see small houses is being built around the country. So small spaces, we can find planet Earth is big enough for everybody. So you can find a place, a comfortable place, somewhere And also you don't have to sideline other creatures in order you to flourish. That is wrong. There is no justice there. I don't find any meaning in that. You live, let others live. That is the principle. Live, let live. Other creatures live. So, loss of biodiversity is asking to see in the ocean the depletion of fish stocks and corals bleaching. The corals are dying. In fact, he writes in one place, who stole the color of the seas? Who stole the color of the seas? That is coral reefs. And the carbon we put in the atmosphere, the two carbon sinks, they deplete. One is the ocean, another one is the rainforest, trees. They are known as carbon sink. So ocean is taking carbon and trees are taking carbon. And they hide carbon in the ocean through shells. Actually, the carbon is used by shellfish, known as the crustaceans. The lobster, the shrimp, the snails, all those crustaceans. And they deposit the carbon under the ocean. But in the process of depleting carbon, the ocean gets heated up slightly. Ocean is very delicate. Small temperature increase will damage its ecosystem. So that's what's happening. It's called coral bleaching. The corals are becoming white. All the colors are gone. So who stole the color of the seas? That's a writing. So he's asking to see soil underneath, microscopic bacteria is disappearing. And the birds, when you see birds, most of the birds are gone. Malaysia had so many birds of paradise. Now they are in New Guinea. We have them. But in Malaysia had fantastic birds of paradise. One look, it is, you think really God must be crazy. God must be crazy. Such a designs, such a beautiful colors. Mamma mia. Say Laudato si. Say Mamma mia. Mamma mia means, oh my mother, Mamma mia. So you are learning it in Italian. Then comes, you see, when all those things happen, loss of biodiversity, no water, and throw away culture, pollution, climate change, what do you expect? Decline in human health, decline in the quality of human life, and the breakdown of society, violence. Today, for natural resources, people fight. In India, for water, war is already happening, state to state. People are killing each other. The state doesn't give you water to the neighboring state. Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, it's a big problem. For the past 35 years, Tamil Nadu is trying to get some water from Karnataka because Karnataka in Western Ghats where rains come and monsoon rain is there. Most of the rivers originate in the western part of India, but eastern part no rivers. So we depend on them to release some water, but they are not sharing their water. So this is a big war going on, and I think in future there will be a big war for water. So water will be the commodity. Probably many people will steal. You keep gold in the bottle of water, nobody takes the gold. Everybody takes the bottle of water and it has also in its one. So this is the more than a gold, and today's sister water is valued so much, and in your country you have in abundance. Better you protect it, and please don't come to the point where Indians have come. Never allow that. Then global inequality. That means 80% of the resources are already plundered from every ecosystem. Everywhere. 80% gone. Ocean, mountain, desert, tropical rainforest, savanna, chaparral, tundra, taiga, boreal forest, everywhere 80% is already plundered. Only 20% of the resources remain. So already 120 billion humans have passed through this planet. 80% gone. Now 500 billion humans are going to pass through this planet after us. Where are the resources? How are they going to live on just 20% of the resources? If we had the ability to go to the sun, or rockets, if humans had the ability to go near the sun, by this time half of the sun would have been cut and brought to pieces and would have sold off of the sun. Everybody would have bought a piece of sun and put in the house, bright light. Maybe our churches would have had the big sun, piece of the sun behind the tabernacle. So half of the sun would have been gone. Thank God they are not in the reach of this predatory human. Otherwise, even a galaxy would have gone. So that is the greed of this Homo sapiens, this species, displays only greed. So 80% gone, only 20% remain. So we need to protect at least those 20%. Of course, God is so clever, don't think He is stupid. He is keeping 75% of the land under the ocean. Remember that. He knew, I give only 25%. If this humanity manages okay, I'll give him another 10% through plate tectonic activity. He lifts the land from the ocean. The valleys will be lifted up, mountains shall go, become valleys. So plate tectonics. That is how this land was under the ocean. I'm talking about some 40 billion years ago. So 40 million, that means 4 crore. So 4 crore years ago, this land was lifted from the ocean. So full of resources. So this is depleted and this will go into the ocean for charging. It's like charging cell phone. So this land will go under the water and God will give you the 25% of the land for the future generations. Don't think He is stupid. Actually, Psalm number 104, if you read today, that's your homework. Psalm 104. In the beginning itself, you find the same expression. God has covered the sea, water like a blanket. He is covering. You remember for Christmas when your mother baked cookies and she took the cookies and hid them from your predatory hands. Yeah. Hid them somewhere. And you don't find them. But humans are so smart, even they have found resources in the ocean now. Now they are drilling in the ocean. So, but anyway, God is so smart. And I think our future generations will be okay, according to me, because God is going to give resources for them. There is no doubt, but we didn't do well at all. You should accept that. Weak responses. He's saying so many problems, but weak responses. Most of the efforts taken by United Nations, politics, economy is useless. He's telling all those United Nations conventions on climate change from Rio de Janeiro, 1992, Brazil, and Kyoto, 1997, Japan, and Copenhagen in 2009 in Denmark, and Durban 2011 in South Africa, and then Paris 2015, Basel Convention, Montreal Convention, Vienna Convention, Stockholm Convention, all these United Nations efforts to solve ecological crisis proved to be futile, useless, failure, mostly failure. So the World Court, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, Amnesty International, institutions, religions, useless. Religions, all institutions, they are unable to do anything. Politicians are helpless, economy is helpless, and whole world leaders helpless. Weak responses. And then last, there are a variety of opinions. Everybody has their own opinion. But we need to bring in a form of dialogue. 7.5 billion people should enter into dialogue, and there should be transparency. Not like closed doors. Only some people discuss in an air-conditioned big room in 5-star hotel. These people decide of the future of the poor. They have never seen poor people in their life. They are the most richest people in the world. They sit in a big air-conditioned room and they decide what is good for the poor people. And actually, Pope is telling from their position, they can't see the poor. That's what he's writing. I always imagine, maybe all these people are so obese, big stomachs, and they can't see what is there under. So that's how I imagine. That's how I imagine. So that's, oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, I can understand that. From my position. Where is the poor? Where is the poor? There, I don't see them anymore. They are here, down somewhere. So this is what a variety of opinions are there, but I don't think they are effective either. So 7.5 billion, it is not the elite who decide the future of the poor. It is we ourselves, our own poor people should have representation to decide how their future going to be. So we should involve as equal partners in discussion, and it should be in dialogue and transparent. So now you understood the first chapter. Oh my God, how are you doing? Say Laudato Si. So now you are PhD in first chapter. I don't know about second and third, but first you are okay. Now I'm going to give you some of the quotes of Pope Francis' writings, a little bit of the feeling how he writes. What is a few quotes from the first chapter? Here, number 21. There are 246 paragraphs in the encyclical. This is the first chapter, 21 paragraph. The earth, our home, is beginning to look more and more like an immense pile of filth. A pope would never use the word filth. They never use this kind of bad words. A filth means for a pope, it's a bad word. It's a 4-letter word. You wouldn't use that. They will use grace. They will use heaven. They will use even hell and purgatory, but not filth. Now, he's telling such a strong word from Pope Francis' hand. Immense pile of filth. That tells you how bad it is. 35, paragraph number. Highways, new plantations, the fencing off of certain areas, the damming of water sources, and similar developments crowd out natural habitats and at times break them up in such a way that animal populations can no longer migrate or roam freely. As a result, some species face extinction. There have been 5 great mass extinctions already happened in the planet history. 45 crores years ago, 450 million years, Ordovician mass extinction. Then Devonian mass extinction, 350 million. 250 million Permian mass extinction. Then came Triassic, 200 million years ago. The last one was 6.5 crore years ago, that's 65 million years ago. That is called Cretaceous mass extinction, where all the dinosaurs, they're all disappeared. So that is the last, 5th one. After that, this is the 6th mass extinction we are talking about. there is a huge difference between the 5 mass extinction and the 6th mass extinction. The 5 mass extinctions happened over the time period of 1 to 2 million years. It took 2 million, 20 lakh years to reach 95% of the animal extinction rate. But here, 30% of the animals and plants already extinct within the frame the time frame of 100 years. It's not 1 or 2 million years, 100 years. Starting from the Industrial Revolution, Agricultural Revolution, 10,000 years ago, and then 1850 Industrial Revolution, and then Green Revolution in 1960s, where we threw poison in the soil and began to produce vegetables and food. So these are the 3 revolutions which destroyed most of our planet. So that is what he's talking about. Some species face extinction. That means they will be lost forever. They won't come back. Number 61, this is the last paragraph in the first chapter. If you miss something, now you are going to be hammered on your head. You can't forget this sentence. This summarizes the whole seriousness of the first chapter. Look at that. If we scan the regions of our planet, we immediately see that humanity has disappointed God's expectations. You can't write better than that. That is the hammering sentence. We disappointed all God's expectations. Yeah. There is no chance. We never obeyed. We made a rebellion against God himself. This is the picture. First chapter to describe. I'm showing this picture. There are 2 pictures here. This is 75 years ago, how our earth looked like. Look at the biodiversity, green color. Malaysia is full green. India also full of green, only here and there. The whole world looks like a paradise. That white color symbolizes desert and ice. So the green color, almost 80% of our planet Earth had biodiversity. Now you want to see after 75 years? You don't want to see, yeah, you don't want to see, I know. But anyway, it's painful. Look at this. Look at this. This is what, within 75 years, this is what we have done. This is not the king cobra dead or mosquitoes. This is human being. He is the cause for everything. So, but anyway, we need to bring back like this. I know that. Oh, that's the setup. We need to bring back that. You agree? We have to make it. Yeah, it is possible that we can do that because we are capable of that. Okay, so this is what we have done. Okay, second chapter, the gospel of creation. Look at that. So this is the 5th gospel. St. Francis Xavier brought 4 gospels to you in 16th century to Malacca. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Rayappa has brought the 5th gospel to Malacca and Joe Dices. So this is the 5th gospel. It's called Gospel of Creation. It was lost. Actually, this is the gospel first written by God himself. It is known as the book of works. What we read is the book of words. That's the difference. 2 books in the Bible. One is book of works, another one is book of works. Words. So what we read is book of words. The book of works we are unable to read. That is the point. We need to learn to read. Because other creatures also can read book of works. Only birds, only humans can read. Mosquitoes can't read. snakes can't breathe. But the book of works, snakes also can breathe, mosquitoes also can breathe, because they are all work of life. So this is now Pope is telling, open your eyes and see the Bible. You saw the planet. Now you see the Bible. What does Bible say about our relationship with nature and creation? Is there any responsibility? Is there any duties we need to follow? Is there any instructions from the Creator? And did we falter? Did we fail in our duty? So he is asking us to see and examine from the Bible. So the life offered by faith, the Bible is giving all instructions. Our faith is not different from caring for the earth. It stems out from our own faith. Caring for creation is it's an implicit call from our duty itself. It is not an extra thing. Somebody telling you, our faith itself is pushing us to care for the earth. It is implicit. It is innate in our faith. The wisdom of the biblical accounts, see there are 10 paragraphs. That is the longest treatment in the second chapter. 65 to 75 paragraphs. First chapter also you have 10 paragraphs on loss of biodiversity. Here the wisdom of the biblical accounts. So in which he discusses about chapter 1 Genesis verses 26 to 28, where God gives us dominion over the fishes of the sea and the animals of the land and the birds of the air. Alright? Dominion. That letter misunderstood by humans, misinterpreted by theologians and philosophers for the past 2000 years. Dominion means we have given interpretation of the human dominion, like political dominion, like Idi Amin dominion, like a tyrant dominion, like destroying and cutting them, killing them, eating them, abusing them. So this is what the dominion, it's a human dominion, we misunderstood. But when God gave, I give dominion, He meant dominion with which He is practicing. That is God's dominion. God's dominion is entirely opposite. He rules by justice, kindness and mercy, compassion and empathy and forgiveness. This is what God's dominion is all about. So we didn't interpret in terms of God's dominion, we interpreted the text in terms of human dominion. That is the downfall. So for the past 2000 years, we have been preaching, you are image of God, and God has given you license to take all of them. Everything is created for human amusement, for human use. That is the philosophy. But today, Pope is telling it's a wrong interpretation. And if you are an image of God, so do mosquito. Everything comes from the soil. Every animal and every creature is made out of the same stuff with which we are made of. So, he's simply telling dominion, let us reject that interpretation, what has been given for the 2000 years. That's a very strong statement. Paragraph number 67, if you read it, he says such kind of interpretation should be rejected. Church doesn't approve of them anymore. And then he is inviting us to chapter 2, verse 15, 2:15, where he says, till it and keep it. That's it. Till it and keep it. In other words, after the creation of human, he calls both of them and tells them, I give you only one work. There is no other work. No teacher, no doctor, no engineer, nothing. Everybody do farming. hunter and gatherer.